What up? What up? It's your boy Dak and the other newest member of the Buckham Pod crew, Jay the Dream Weaver. What is poppin', my guy? We sit here on a Tuesday as we record this episode. How are you today, bro?
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm fresh off a little mini vacay, so my battery's recharged, and I am ready to sink my teeth into a game week. Like full
It is
prep.
game week.
Like there's a football game going to be played. It's so amazing, man. Best
Let's
time of the year.
go. Got the club going up on a
Oh yeah.
Tuesday. All right.
Oh yeah.
You already know, bro. So,
Oh, yeah.
yesterday, the Broncos fangirl. It's an inside joke, ladies and gentlemen, but I feel like Kay Adams is a Broncos fan at heart. She was at training camp yesterday. She always knows how to get the best out of Sean Payton. He's a little more giddy than usual with other media members. When talking to Kay Adams, he
Yeah.
tends to let things slip out a little bit more. But with that being said, Jay, kind of talk to me about how you feel with Kay Adams showing up at the Broncos training camp. What are some of the things maybe that you heard or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be yesterday?
Well, I will say it is like a national holiday in Broncos country when Kay Adams shows up.
Hell
Because,
yeah.
and I will say, like, I've watched, because Kay Adams has a training camp tour, so
Yes.
today she's in Cincinnati with the
On to
Bengals.
Cincinnati, yes.
But not every training camp is the same. She gives special priority, special attention to focus on the Broncos specifically and Sean Payton. So I don't know if Sean Payton and her got like some Diana Rossini vibes going on or what's going on there, but like we get special treatment. So it was nice to see her, obviously. It was nice to see Sean spill the tea a little bit. Basically the biggest thing was the play calling change, taking play calling away from him. She really hammered that point home in the interview that she had with him. And at least my favorite excerpt of it was that Sean was self-aware enough, and we don't give him credit for humility ever because,
No.
he's Sean.
He does have that ego about him, a level of
does.
arrogance, if you will, right? But hey,
Yep.
when you're that guy and you've called plays for so many times and you've had the level of production that he's had and you hoisted a Lombardi trophy, it's expected, right?
100%.
Yeah.
But he said, like, I don't maybe remember what age he said he was, but he's old. I'm
42.
old, and yeah, and I recognize that maybe I don't make the same play calling behaviors as I was when I was in my 40s.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So he wants to not stop progress, and he wants to let the system evolve from the foundation that he built. And so he's getting out of the way and letting, Davis Webb take the reins.
And
I love it, man.
And I do like that whole analogy of him, referencing the driver's ed, right? Being there, driver's ed, you have that guy, you have your driver, instructor, pressing on the brake, if you will, if you're messing up or going too fast or what have you. But that's kind of what it's going to be like. Davis Webb will be on the sidelines. He mentioned, I know Kay Adams had asked about whether, Davis Webb would be up in the booth or on the sideline. My preference as a player is I would expect my offensive coordinator, especially if I'm the quarterback, to be on the sideline. You have, more of that personal contact relationship on the sidelines. So I like that. I like that Webb will be on the sidelines. And one thing that also stood out to me with Sean Payton was saying that he really just vouched the full confidence of Davis Webb finding success. It feels like he's not going to fail him, right?
Yeah, he's going to set him up for success. And it is nice to see Sean have an interview, especially with Kay, where it isn't all about him and he's not tooting his own horn and he's not trying to impress the girl,
Right.
He spread the love. So it was a nice, development out of the personality that is Sean Payton. And it was, it was really cool to see another, I guess, part of that, and I don't remember the player. Might have been Malcolm Roach. I can't. No, it was Benito. It was Nick Benito saying, Sean's been a lot more lax this year compared to last couple of years. He even let us go to a movie last week. So just continues to hammer home the point of like, Sean understands he's the CEO, and maybe it's nice to peel back a little bit and give a little more leeway to this core. This is not their first training camp together. So the progression of the culture continues.
It does, man. One thing too that was crazy, and I mean, we did our record predictions before this episode, a couple episodes ago. 15-2, but I really feel like 15-2 is crazy, right? Like that for me, I feel like that was the ceiling for this team.
Ceiling. Yeah.
Maybe we're not, we don't get 15 wins. That's fine. It's never been done within the Broncos franchise history. There's only been 9 teams across the NFL that have been able to get over 14 wins, 15 wins, if you
Yeah.
will. Exactly. So the Broncos, could they be the 10th going into 2026? We'll find out game by game, type of thing. And that's like a high level of optimism. Make no mistake, I get that. But Sean Payton specifically said this team is a better team than they were last year. And that
Yeah.
stuck out to me. That really
Yeah.
stuck out to me, bro. I mean, you've added Jalen Waddle. You really solidified the depth around this team in some areas, right? You have a good mixture of veteran leadership combined with youthful talent coming in along the pipelines and developing, right?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Kay Adams did say, "Go get the job done, Sean." Towards the end of that whole interview, and you know what he said? We will.
Yeah.
We will. So I just got
Never short of confidence.
no, never. But it just kind of makes me like think about Sean Payton and Drew Brees, right? He spent the weekend,
Yeah.
presenting Drew Brees, while he was honored into the Hall of Fame, right? He did mention, man, there were some things said by Drew Brees that I wish Bo Nix could have been present for, right? And he did also say that Drew Brees and Bo Nix do have a relationship. They talk, so that's a nice resource to have at the quarterback position to have in your back pocket. And then Peyton Manning too, like Peyton Manning
Yeah.
being in your back pocket. Bo Nix has the resources to be successful, especially going into year 3, bro.
100%.
Um,
And don't make no mistake about it, Dak. Those guys that you just mentioned are going to actually pick up Bo's phone call as opposed to Russell Wilson, who would call them 5 times in a row, and they'd be hitting that red to decline the call. So it
yeah,
is. It's a
exactly.
different culture, man. It's a different time.
So yeah, Bo Nix having those resources is it's phenomenal to have, bro. Broncos quarterback royalty in a multitude of ways. But going down the line, one thing I did want to ask you in terms of like training camp for the Broncos is August 31st. It looks like Jonathan Cooper has his arraignment. I see your face. I
Yeah.
see the reaction.
Uh,
And it's to be determined kind of how that whole scenario plays out, right? But one player within training camp has really stood out to me. I've talked about this on my other podcast in Broncos Bros with Orange and Blue Network. Jonah Alice is balling. So the fact that Jonah Alice is balling and dependent on all what happens, where is your confidence level if, say, Cooper either has to miss time or they chop him?
dude,
He's on the chopping block.
it's super high. When all of the Cooper stuff first started, we really did have to think about, oh, we're not going to have Cooper. Like, he's done. Like, we thought maybe
Right.
he would get cut. So, man, yeah, between Jonah Ellis and Q Robinson and maybe a little sprinkling of Drew Sanders, maybe potentially, dude, I got
The Kool-Aid
zero.
But yeah.
I got zero, issues with our pass rushing. Man, Jonah Ellis is going to jump off the page this year. I said that if Cooper's not there, and even if Cooper is there, I'm still calling for double-digit sacks for Jonah Ellis because I think he's going to get the opportunities to be able to do that. That's basically
And
what
sacks.
Cooper had last year. Cooper had 9.5 last year. So
Yeah.
it's not like crazy to say if Jonah gets more snaps this year than he did last, that's totally an obtainable goal. It's the year of Jonah, Dak. The year of Jonah.
Man, and
What do you think about Jonah?
And I think Jonah has gotten better. I think he's more explosive. His bend is a
Yep.
lot better. Just his jump, talking about his explosive, being more explosive, getting off the line of scrimmage. Jump off the line of scrimmage just stands out more to me this season. And it feels like he's been pretty durable. That was a question mark, right? Can he sustain some durability? He's so far so good within camp, right? And I know we'll see how it goes with preseason, but talking about injuries, I kind of wanted to touch on like the level of concern with all of these soft tissue injuries.
Soft tissue. Yeah,
Uh,
dude. And then Dieters went down today too. So like our center position is brutal
it
on
is
all
brutal.
these soft tissue issues, man. Oh, so bad.
Uh, was there a broken pinky promise yesterday potentially with J.K. Dobbins? It's just all in fun, but like homeboy got injured yesterday, unfortunately. Back in camp today, which is good, but what was going through your mind once the injury was sustained? A soft tissue injury, which he's battled through his whole career, battled with.
Yeah, sure. My first reaction was to, find Mike Carmelini or find all the people out there in the World Wide Web that were like, oh, he's playing 17 games, no question. Like, this is the year we see the full J.K. Dobbins, so it was very on brand for him to go down. But the pinky promise was technically he's not missing any games of the regular season. And so far, he actually, he's still fine. So the promise is intact. Broncos country still loves him. But man, it is just a stark reminder that he is made of glass and it can happen real quick. That we need to pivot our whole focus of our running game to somebody else. And
Jonah
I'm ready to pounce, Dak. I'm ready to pounce as soon as that JK news comes out, but it's a little too premature.
And we have heard a bunch of great things coming out of camp about Jonah Coleman running in between the tackles and being that stud,
Yep. And Harvey. Harvey has been fantastic through camp.
Yes.
So,
he is that Camaro of the offense, man. And I feel it like in the passing game, right?
yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
The Coleman Harvey combo is going to be sick nasty for years to come. Cannot wait to see the full.
And how dare we say that we can't not touch on Pat Bryant today.
Oh my God.
That dude has been balling out of his mind.
Unbelievable.
I think it's a lock now at this point as to whether or not Pat Bryant is wide receiver 3. I don't like to put labels on it, ladies and gentlemen, but dude, he's going to get quite a bit of snaps. And going back to Kay Adams real quick, like Sean Payton told, like what did she ask? How do you see him coming off the field, or what was, I don't know exact verbiage, but he basically said Pat Bryant ain't coming off the field, dude.
Yeah, we can't take him off the field.
And
yeah.
It was crazy too, is like the question marks about his health, right? Coming in, he's going to be durable. But he's been the only one so far through training camp that has had a clean bill of health, if you will, knock on wood. All our other receivers have battled through injury, unfortunately.
Sure.
Right? So
yeah. He's the ultimate roll of the dice because he doesn't have, a history injury or history, past. But if he does get on his string of injuries another concussion, then it's like, could be a KO, so like if he stays healthy, all is well. But if he gets another concussion, man, it's gonna be rough stuff for him down the road, just because of the severity, obviously, of that injury. But yeah, man, I know you're shy about putting labels on things in comparison to that, and I would be so bold as to say he's Michael Thomas, man. Get ready
Hey,
for the Michael Thomas experience for Pat Bryant. Sign
yeah,
me up.
dude. Yeah, sign me up because it was funny because a lot of people did chuckle at Sean Payton initially, right, when he made that comparison. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when he was drafted last season, right, last draft season. So yeah, dude. I mean, Sean Payton typically doesn't really just put things out there, right? Like I think he, as a head coach, he knows what he's talking about. He's an NFL head coach, right? Like, yes, we make mistakes or whatever. He's not perfect, but in terms of comparisons, boom. I'll take that to the bank. And being
And
that we were talking about players and wide receivers being injured, with injuries comes more opportunity, and he's
yeah,
thrived with those opportunities, flourished tremendously. So
yeah.
shout out to
And
Pat Bryant. I don't like the nickname
Patty
though.
Ice, come on, man. You got to get on the train of Patty
My
Ice.
God, can we not
I,
get? Can we not figure out another name? Do we got plenty of ice buckets? I guess it feels like everybody has to have ice in their nickname.
so that I believe that originated on the drive with Philip Lindsay and Zach By. They are very good
Shame on
at
them.
coining. Specifically, Zach By is really good at coining nicknames for people.
Okay,
And I love Zach By to death. I will
they're good
absolutely go
dudes,
on that train with him.
but
Um,
that's
but
it's too close to Matty Ice.
I get that. I do get that. But the hype is getting real around him, man. It is one thing that I hate seeing, and this is selfishly, I hate seeing my gems that I get to like hold on to in Broncos training camp get national exposure. But I was seeing fantasy football websites highlighting all the news about Pat Bryant and how everybody needs to start looking and taking notice of the Pat Bryant train. I don't like that because I'm gonna,
You
get one
know,
up on people in fantasy this year. Pat
Pat,
Bryant's going to be money.
he's money. And speaking of
Yep.
money, I think about two chains when you talk about money, moving the chains.
Oh,
Throw
yeah.
two chains. The first down. Ah.
I was going to say, I got chain gains out there in
Yeah.
spirit. All
And I
right.
know it. I know that's. I'm doing the same thing with probably Matty Ice as they are with Patty Ice. But two chains. I mean, shoot, the
Hey,
dude makes the. He's just a chain mover. He's a dog, bro. Like
he is. He is. I'm
real quick
excited, man.
today. The NFL dropped the, I guess you would say, the uniform schedule for week 7.
Yeah.
Week
Yeah.
6, excuse me. Seahawks Broncos week 6 matchup, and boy did the NFL understand the assignment with this one in particular. Both teams will be donning the throwbacks, dude.
Yeah, dude. Oh my
Ah,
god. And I love Seattle's throwbacks, so much. That's the number 2 under us, personally. So
I
I
agree.
mean, we got a number 1 seed versus a number 2 seed going against each other for that matchup, uniform wise.
I do
Uh,
like that. I do like that. Yeah, man. I mean, and then Bo Nix's first game was against Seattle, and they were
in
rocking those
Seattle.
throwback uniforms, and I was like, man, if only we could have rocked them. Dreams
Yeah.
do come true, ladies and gentlemen, because week 6 we're rocking them. It's gonna be amazing, and we're undefeated in the throwbacks. So, you know,
I'm still waiting on that all white throwback someday, maybe next
oh,
year.
maybe next
But
year.
that thing's gonna pop whenever they do get that right.
I know
But yeah,
Broncos.
man, for prime time to be rolling out those throwbacks, oh my gosh, just what is it?
Pristine, bro.
Yeah, it is
Fuego.
aesthetic porn. Like my eyes are gonna be so happy that night.
Mine too, man. That's a game I wish I could have.
Aside from the football matchup, I mean, like that's a stellar matchup in and itself. Aside from the uniforms,
And if
but
I'm not mistaken, the Broncos have beaten the last 2 Super Bowl champs, right?
yes, yep,
Eagles.
Philadelphia, yep.
I can't remember the team before, but we got a W. So hey, I'll take that. But any final words, any final thoughts as we talk about, before we get out of here, pertaining to the Broncos? I know we have another episode coming up, and we will be getting into some things as it pertains to the game on Friday. I know we were hyped about
Yeah,
that coming onto this episode, but we'll get onto that on Thursday. Falcons and Broncos will be fun to watch. We got a game. It's game week. But
yeah,
any
dude.
final thoughts, bro?
Well, I mean, technically, this is, I think today, the last practice media will be there because they're doing a closed practice tomorrow for game prep. So I guess the biggest thing for me is health. We talk about these soft tissue injuries and like just the continued worries on some specific positional groups, like center, for an example.
That's important.
But I want to get through the rest of this week healthy, clean bill of health. We don't need any more bad juju from an injury standpoint. That's what's on top of my mind, at least. What about you?
Health is very important. I'm in sync with you on that one. Please get us to the preseason and to the
Yeah,
regular
just
season as healthy as possible, ladies and gentlemen. We're hoping for that. So, no, this was a fun discussion, bro. Um, man, football will be here before you know it. Week 1 will be here before you know it.
Friday,
Oh,
man.
real quick before we do get out of here, Nick Wright, which I like to call Nick Wrong,
Nick wrong. Yeah,
so disrespectful. Homeboy does things for clicks. Let's be real here.
he's a clown.
He said though that he believes Patrick Mahomes would be the healthier quarterback come week 1. Dude, homeboy,
What?
yeah, it was. I was shaking my head. I'm like, okay, if that's how you feel though, right? Like, kudos to you. I just the bias in that take was it was
Yeah.
fuming, dog. It was flames with that one.
I,
But
I mean,
I
hey,
just laughed. I
but
chuckled at it.
Bo said it really well in the Kay Adams interview yesterday. Honestly, he said, I got a bone break, and bone breaks heal way quicker than any sort of ligament damage or any sort of anything that you've got to wait for it to like really to test it out. Like his ankle honestly is good to go. An ankle break really is not that big a deal in a long-term sense of him
And he has
feeling it.
full confidence in his mobility.
Yeah.
He's very confident. If you're not confident in your own body, you know your body, right? If anyone,
Yep.
I just can't imagine how annoying it's been all off season that the fans, media, everyone has had your health, if you will, in your mouth, type of
Yeah.
thing. It's been
Yep.
annoying, bro. I'll be honest, I've been pretty annoyed about it too because everyone's acting like homeboy broke his leg like Alex Smith or something like that, disgusting
Yep.
like that, right? And that's not even the case. It's far from it, if I'm being honest.
Correct.
And I think a lot of it too has to deal with more of him having that cleanup procedure too. But I feel like
Yeah. The
some folks
second
aren't
one.
really educated in terms of like how certain things flow within the medical field, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
not a medical professional, but I have worked in the medical field for a little bit of time. So I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't too worried about it, but everyone is like, "Oh my god, Bo!" And I feel like some Bronco media, oh, the Bronco like had to talk about his ankle. The camera's rolling. Oh, Bo's ankle, like it's just overblown, dude.
Yeah. I
Overblown.
mean, the second one was just cleanup. He had some
Yeah,
bone spurs, and that technically
yeah,
that's an optional thing. There's some athletes that say, I'll do it next off season. Like it's all good. I'll barrel through the year with it because it's just a pain tolerance thing at that point with spurs. But
mhm.
he's done, man. He's good to go. He's got a
Good to
clean bill of
go. Good to
health,
go. Let
and
it
he's
go.
feeling it. Yep,
Bo
he's
Nix
good,
is
man.
good to go. Let it go. Damn, I don't want to
Yep.
hear any more ankle stuff, ladies and
Nope.
gentlemen.
I'll
Sick of
I'll
it.
I'll
I'm
build a
done.
snowman with him any day. Me and Bo.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
100%.
this was a fun discussion. Much love to you, bro. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. And you already know, if it ain't about the Broncos, buck 'em. Mile high salute to y'all and have a good one. Ta ta now.
Total.